I've been taking these products for 19 years and I have over fortified my body and I feel fantastic because I'm over fortified my body. So anyway, that's that. I want to put that to bed, but we have some exciting things coming too. So I'm just going to give you a few little clues of a few things that are coming very, very soon. Of course, we have our new 4-star Golden Circle bonus. How many love that? How many excited about that? How many people are going for that? I think our first payout was today. So I can't wait to make those calls to congratulate them for making that extra income. And then we'll be making some new announcements coming up real soon. But if I were in your shoes, these are a few things that I'd be doing to prepare for what's coming. We have a 1 to 4-star leadership pool coming. As you know, the lifestyle rewards has been fantastic. We have so many more paid as executives now because of that. How many people love that lifestyle reward bonus? You excited about that? Yes. Well, we're going to put a pool in there for 1 to 4-star, and you'll be able to participate in this pool, and it'll all be based on the same criteria we base everything on, because we don't want you to have to learn anything new. We want you to just keep doing what you're doing, be based on the leadership in action. And you'll have the ability to earn an extra $5,000 maximum a month. And that's huge. Can you imagine if you're a 1-star and you've got a bonus like that? Very, very exciting. So all the work you're doing right now is really, really preparing you for this new bonus coming. And we want you to kind of get the feel of it, and we'll launch that. So all the things you're doing, like all these great grow weeks that we had last week, everybody reaching out, reaching up. We had approximately 1,500 new enrollments on Sunday because I think people were working it, and then they enrolled a lot of new people. So keep up the good work on that. And then if you're a 5-star above, we'll have a bigger pool, and that will be announced very soon too. So that will be another pool where you can actually earn an extra $20,000 for the month. That's huge. So, we're always looking for new ways. In our board meeting, we're having a board meeting coming up pretty soon. The first thing Jim and I ask is, what is our payout? Can we pay our field any more money? We're always looking to pay you more money. And what a perfect night to just give you a few clues of that coming. We just want to keep you fired up and excited. We have more seasonals coming too. Some really, really yummy things. So pay attention to that. And then of course, in New Year's kickoff, I'm sure you've heard the buzz about the new collagen coming. That's going to be a great, great launch for everyone. And we're planning our social media campaign. I just reviewed it with the team. It's going to be extraordinary. So, so many things to look forward to in the future. And I'm so excited that Sonia is training tonight, because we had a kind of a wonderful experience together. I was doing a 3-way call with her, with this gentleman, and he seemed very committed. And I asked him for his top 10 names of the people that he knew that had a burning desire. And he got her the names right away. And this guy's on fire now. So she's really practicing those new techniques. So if you haven't watched my video, Drive the Line, you might want to watch that. It's on Isogenics Business. Just gives a few tips when you're launching someone to get them in action really quick. And then it teaches you how to drive that deep into the organization, getting their names out of them. A lot of people do a post, which is really important too, but you can't expect that new person to know what to say, how to do, what to send, all those things. So make sure to watch that. I think you'll learn something from that. And Sonia is a great, great example of all of that. I'm so proud of her, of really her success and what she's doing. Just watch out. I mean, she is on fire. She really is. So there's really no one better to train than Sonia tonight. So Tyler, if you have anything else you want me to talk about, just go ahead and ask me questions. Or
yeah, well, I appreciate all of that stuff, and thank you so much for sharing. Tonight we've kind of followed the cadence of the the 6-week calls with David Wood, and so that's why this week is the comp plan that's going to be shared with this week. I would love to hear from you as you guys were building this, and I know Jim's the mastermind behind it, but you were deeply involved. What was your heart in when you built the comp plan compared to your experiences in other companies and what you guys saw in other companies? What was your heart behind building the comp plan the way you did?
Oh my gosh, well, we learned so much from my builds. My first one was a stair step breakaway, which is horrific. They're really hard. Second one was 3 legs. And the third one was 2 legs. And Jim saw in 6 weeks, I would, as a 6-figure earner in 6 weeks. And he goes, wow, let me really check that out. So as I'm just massively building, he's really analyzing. But ours is so much better because you're paid on unlimited depth. So what I love about that, if someone comes down like Tyler, someone like Sonia in your organization, she may be 200-300 levels deep. You're paid on her. That is just unheard of. Most companies are shut out after the 6th level. So that was important to me because there were so many people that came down below that I still helped them anyway, just because of the goodness in my heart. But it's nice to be paid on the people that you're really working with. And then what we also learned from that build was that, it's how important it is to have promotional money. Like when we started adding in 2012, we started adding the promotional money. We started adding the double PIBs. And the next year we added rank advancement bonuses. And when we saw that and what happened then, the magic happens. It takes time to build that back end residual income. It takes time, but that's the goal, is to build that long, sustainable back end income. So that's why we have the promotional money, the PIBs, the pools, the lifestyle bonuses, all so that you can make money as you go and you're building that back end. And that is brilliant. And so when you're talking to new people, show them the money. I mean, it's so important because people are looking, they're looking. I talked to a really successful woman today that is probably one of the busiest people I talked to in a long time. And she said, I just don't have time for this. You know what I said to her? I said, the lady on the line that introduced me said, look, how many people do you know that would like to diversify their income? And she said, well, I have 5 people right now but I don't have time to contact them. I said, great, just give them to her and she'll work them for you. So it's just trying to find a way that's going to work in for people. If they say they don't have the time, say, look, I'll work your names. Who do you know that has a burning desire? And I will help. I'll put them underneath you because they, busy, successful people know other really successful people that may be interested. So always trying to find a way for it to work for people, because you never know, what's going to happen. A lot of people take their careers for granted. And I'll tell you, this year has been the biggest wake up call for people ever in history. And people are open. So really learning how to talk about the business is so important, that it feels comfortable for you. And if you are new, leverage the story of Kelly and Tyler, leverage Lindsay's story, leverage, Laura Stevens' story. Say, I'm working with a team of people that are extremely successful and they're showing us the way. They have a system in place to make you successful. All you have to do is plug in. So it gives you more credibility. So I think that's one of the most important things we do, is teach people how to talk about the business, introduce it in a very, very effective way by leveraging your business partners. And you have the best business partners there are. And Jim and I are your business partners too. So don't forget us. So in whatever we can do, we are here to help you. We are committed to do whatever it takes to help you be successful. And the only way that you won't succeed is if you quit. You just need to keep pushing forward, and the magic will happen. Keep your dreams and your goals right in front of you, right by your computer, and it will keep you focused and block out that time. Have that power hour to reach out. The second part of the power hour, follow up. And the magic, all the things that you can create in such a short time is unbelievable with our technology, with the Penny app, with all the tools right there for you. Everything's at your fingertip. So that power hour every day is important. That's why we did this, so people can really start doing that every single day. If they got in the habit of getting up and doing that every day, oh my gosh, they'd have a huge organization.
Awesome.
So
wow.
I would encourage you to, whoever you are, is your person that you work with. Maybe it's Tyler, maybe it's Kelly, maybe it's Laura, maybe it's, maybe it's Lindsay, who knows, whoever it is on this call. After this call, I want you to send them a text message and tell them how committed you are. Tell them if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed you are. Tell them if you want to be one of their 5 key people that you're working with. Let them know, because they have so many possibilities. And if they know that you're committed, they're going to work with you in a different way. And they won't know unless you tell them. So make sure that you reach out, be grateful for them, and let them know that you're all in and you're going for it. This last month before we close out, we're all going to shut down during Christmas, of course, but this is the time really to set yourself up for 2021.
Oh, wow. We could end it right there, right? We could end it right there. Let's go around the night. Kathy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for, jumping on here. I know you got a lot of other things going on. We all do, but I know you're here to serve us, and I appreciate that. And I know that. And again, thank you so much for that, Kathy. And excited to see you and thankful for you sharing with us. So with that, I will let you go about your night, and we will continue on here. As I mentioned with Kathy, as we've taken this cadence following the David Wood calls, this week is about comp plan. It's about getting people paid. And so when Kelly, Lauren, and Lindsay were figuring this out, it's like, who better than Sonia Mahfouz to talk about this? Well, let me just kind of, again, Kathy did a great job. I don't need to say anything. And one of the things that I've realized is you can have the greatest bio in the world, but if you don't show up, it doesn't matter. You're only as good as what you are doing now. And, so one of the things that, yes, I love to hear the experience of Sonia, who's a, retired school psychologist, had that professional career and saw Isagenix as kind of like, is this a real career? And she's gone through some ups and downs. And we're going to talk about that. She and I are going to discuss a little bit, and then she's going to get into how she explains the comp plan. But she's done the do. She's helped other people make money. She's a, Start 1000. She's got 11 executives. She is what's her latest rank? Is it 4-star, 6-star Golden Circle? There's 11 executives in her downline. And the biggest thing that I recognize is her commitment and heart to continue to develop and reevaluate and say, okay, what's working? What do I need to do different? How do I need to go? So, Sonia, are you ready to go? Are you ready to do this? You ready to talk a little bit more about this and then, jump into sharing with everyone?
Yeah, of course. I'm here. Hi.
Right. Exciting. Here we go. I need to make sure that I'm going to remove my pen. There you go. So I can see you. So Sonia, thank you so much for joining us. And as we were kind of, getting started, we talked last week, we were talking about, this call and upcoming. And one of the things that really hit me is your experience, 5 years, and you said, wait a second. Okay. I went to college for a long time. You went to college longer than I was willing to go because I saw another 4 years and I said, no, I'm done. Let's go. But you went to college a long time. And with that, I'm not going to ask you for the figure, the debt figure. It is what it is, right? But you explained to me, looking at it from a career point of view, how did you justify what you had as a career based upon looking at Isagenix as a career? Could you go through that? Because I think it is so powerful.
Yes, of course. So like Tyler said, I'm a school psychologist by trade. And it did take me 8 years of college and graduate school and a lot of student loans to get there. And it was my dream job. And most of you know Rich, my husband, he's an attorney. So we both went to school for a long time. And at 32 years old, when Isagenix was introduced to us, and I really believe it was divine intervention, I was at a point where I loved being a school psychologist, but I hated the time that I had to be at work. I hated that I didn't have any flexibility in my schedule. And so when I saw the big opportunity with Isagenix and I saw the big money, and this is why I share the compensation plan all the way to max out with everyone, because I had to see the big money. Referral bonuses were not going to move me. So when I saw the big money, but more than anything, the lifestyle that came with building a full-time career with Isagenix, I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 8 years to learn how to become a professional network marketer, to learn how to build this thing, Isagenix. And I really looked at it as, okay, if I was going to go into a new career or anything like that, it would take me time, right? Like if I was going to get my master's in something, or if I was going to law school or whatever it was, it would take time. And so from the very beginning, once I committed, once I saw the vision, I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 8 years. That was my time commitment.
Love it. And I think that's so powerful. And that's an evolution. I'll be honest, when we started in 2011, it was a shorter time frame. And what was so magical about you discussing that and bringing that up is relating to the fact of, yes, it takes longer. And you know what? That's where I think when you give yourself a longer time frame, one, you're committed longer, but you also start to think in those ways. If you're looking for quick money, it can be there, but then you're also going to be quick to leave. And people are going to sense that, as opposed to, no, I'm here. I'm building a practice. It's going to take a long time till I get over the profitability hump. Okay. The next thing that you shared, as you share the comp plan, you said there's 3 things. And I'd love for you to highlight those 3 things.
Like when I get on the Zoom calls with my people?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So just to give a little bit of backstory on this, because many of you have heard me talk about this the last year, and about a year ago, like Tyler said, I'm always reevaluating, like what's working, what's not working. And about a year ago, I recognized that anybody on my team that would get on a call with me or would come to my house or would just have a conversation with me would stay in it long term. And if nothing else, they would become happy customers and referral machines of Isagenix, right? But I wasn't really seeing that duplicating. And I kept wondering, like, why? What is missing? And I just decided to make it very systematic in our team that we were all explaining and showing Isagenix in the same way. And so I put everything that we've learned in the last 4 years at that point. I said, okay, what are the key things that I always share with people? And I want to make sure my team is sharing those too. And that was your Isagenix story. Everyone has it. Everyone has an Isagenix story, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 5 years, you all have it. If you don't know what that looks like, Google Isagenix story. And Isagenix gives you a template of what you should include in that. And it should only be, they say 30 seconds, but I can't get it under 2 minutes. I mean, we're lucky it's under 30 minutes at this point. So for me, it's like 90 seconds. So my Isagenix story, and then I break it up into the consultation of, okay, what are your goals? What are you doing for breakfast, lunch, dinner, your snacks, vitamins, that Starbucks run? And how much money are you spending on the 2 meals that you're replacing with the Isagenix system? And that way they give me their own budget. And so everybody gets a value pack because everybody tells us $20 a day. It's very rare that I sign somebody up without a value pack. And then the third part, I always say, everybody, okay, I'm excited to show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Time out. Did you hear that? I'm going to underline that. I'm going to ask you to share it again because it just rolls off your tongue so easy. But guys, did you hear that? She, talks to the person, she, gets where they're going and then gets a budget. And then she transitions into, go ahead, say it again.
Let me show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset.
Barbie put in the chat. Did you guys hear that? That's how you transition to it. So it's not weird. It's then, oh, okay. Like, tell me about that, right?
Yeah. And no one stops me, you guys. No one has ever stopped me. Like no one has ever been like, oh no, I don't want to hear about that. Because I didn't say, do you want to do the business? let me show you about the business. Like, I didn't say anything like that. All I said was, let me show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset.
Yes.
It's systematic. I do it with everyone. I get everybody on a Zoom call. I really want to stress that, because I know that there's people that now enroll people, you know, with a link or text messaging back and forth. And that I have done that at points in my Isogenics career. And those people never go beyond 30 days, and they never become, they never refer anybody to Isogenics. They never build a business. And it's because they never got on the phone with me. They never heard the story. They never saw the comp plan. So I do everything in my power to get them on a Zoom call. I just say, hey, let's get on a Zoom call really quick. We're going to talk about your goals, and I'm going to recommend the best system for you. I'm available at this time or this time. And I get them on a Zoom call right now. Yeah. And so we do. And then I show them the comp plan. I've been doing this like this for a good solid year, and my team is probably tired of me talking about it because they've heard me like a million times tell them. And some are probably still not doing it, but I know a lot of them are, and it's working. It's working. We had 4 new executives this summer, come in our team, and that was from implementing this. And then of course we have Cami Smith, he just hit Crystal Director yesterday in 3 weeks. And we know he's going to hit Crystal Executive any day now. And it's because we're doing this. So we show this to everybody. And the way that I show the comp plan is I just focus on 2 things: referral bonuses, short-term money, long-term money, residual income.
Great. Did you guys get that? I'm going to type it in the chat here. Short-term money from referrals, and then long-term from residual, from product use. Guys, those are the 2 points. Okay. So Sonia, let's do it. Okay. Show us how you show someone. I am your brand new person. I just told you I got $20 a day to spend. I'm buying the value pack. Go.
Yeah, perfect. And I will say I take the order, then I do this. Because otherwise it can get kind of crazy. Now they're like, money, no one took my order. What's going on, right? So I took the order, and then I'm like, okay, Tyler, I'm so excited to show you how I turned my everyday food money into an income producing asset. Okay, so you are here. Who are the 2 people that you love the most who are over 18?
Oh, well, I'm going to say Kelly.
Good answer.
Okay. And then let me go with David.
David. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So when you refer your beautiful wife, Kelly, to the same value pack that we just talked about, Isogenics pays you a $100 referral bonus. And the same with David. When you help 2 or more people get started with the value pack in the same week, it doubles to $200 per person. So right there, you already made $400. How does that sound?
Great.
And I just kind of gauge.
In my job, in my career, in order to make an extra $400, I didn't really have that. I would have had to get a whole new client. To make $400 by sharing with 2 people, I didn't have that availability.
Yeah. Yeah. And so as I'm explaining it, I'm also gauging, like, how do they feel about an extra $400? Some people are like, are you kidding? Like, in 1 week, $400, let's go. Like, where do I sign up for this thing? Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. And then the first time you do this, you become a consultant. And that's an additional $100. So right there, you already made $500. You pretty much already paid for your value pack.
Yep.
And I explain how all my happy customers do this. And I say that all my happy customers do this. This doesn't mean you're building a business. This just means you're being a good friend.
So you're doing 2 things there, and I'm sorry to break you apart, but
yeah,
if you
no, go ahead.
Of neuro-linguistic programming, you're essentially doing that. You're helping them feel like, oh, I'm going to be a happy customer because everyone wants to be a happy customer. She's already programming in that in the mind. Well, Sonia says, I'm going to be a happy customer. And then as well, every happy customer does this. So if I'm a happy customer, I'm going to want to do it. And those are things that, again, it's not a extent of manipulation. You're just showing that because everyone is a happy customer, and the happiest customers do this. It is what it is.
Yeah, totally. And then I say, okay, and then it's going to happen again. Kelly will tell a couple of her friends. David will tell a couple of his friends because they're going to love it. They're going to make the same $500 we just talked about. And then Isagenix is going to pay you $100 for helping Kelly become a consultant and $100 for helping David become a consultant. So we get paid when we get our friends paid. It's awesome.
Great. Get your friends paid.
At this point, you are now a crystal manager. And that, if you do that within 60 days, that's an additional $250. So right there, you already made almost $1,000 just for being a happy customer, telling a few friends about it. And again, a lot of my happy customers do this, and they really do, because they get on the phone with me and they do this.
Awesome.
Right? So then I'm like, okay, so that's how short-term money works. Now,
There, you're back.
Okay, there we are. Now, some of my happy customers, they do this and they're like, well, Sonia, that was too easy. I have so many other friends. Let's go. Let's keep going. Every time they help somebody get started with a value pack, every time you do that, it's going to be $100 per person or $200 per person when you do 2 or more in the same week. And then this is when I share a little bit about my team, and I'm painting the vision. So then at this point, I'm like, we have a really highly educated team. We have attorneys, teachers, principals, doctors, psychologists, and they all have a lot of student loans. It's just the reality. So having them be a happy customer of Isagenix, and they love it so much, and then having an ability to make an extra $400 a week that can go to their student loans, that has been life-changing for a lot of our friends in our team. So, and that is a true story. I mean, you know that, right? That's a big one. And that's a happy customer, you guys, an extra $400 a week. So then at this point I say, okay, so now some friends, they're like, this is too easy. Let's keep going. So you're going to keep helping your friends get started with Isagenix, and they're going to do the same. They go and tell their friends and family. And what this is doing is you're building a network of customers who are using Isagenix. They're loving it. They're getting paid for their referrals. And then that's when you really start to see the residual income come in. And that's what caught my attention. When I saw the residual income opportunity and the fact that years down the road, I could have a business that would potentially pay me more than what I was working, that was amazing. I only knew of my job where I only got paid when I worked. That's it. The day I stopped working, I never got paid again.
Right.
So then this is how this works. So every time somebody in your organization orders anything for Isagenix, and it's unlimited, in our company, we get paid on everybody and anybody who enters our team. And there's a business volume tied to that. The way that works is when somebody's spending $150, that's equivalent to 100 business volume. When one leg is spending 600 business volume and another leg is spending 300 business volume, that's one cycle, which is $54. And we get paid up to 250 cycles per week, which is up to $13,500 per week, which is $696,000 per year of residual income. And then at this point I say, now let me be very honest. Does everybody do this? No, but it's available to everybody. And that's what got my attention. The fact that this was even a thing, the fact that I could even make $54 while I slept, right?
Yeah.
And then at this point, then I put it in perspective to my life, you know? So then I said, okay,
Love
so
that.
just to give you perspective of how this looks for me, I have been building an isogenic. Can you hear me, Tyler?
Yeah.
You froze.
Yeah,
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So then I say, I have been building an isogenics business for 5.5 years. In those 5.5 years, I have personally helped 150 people get started with isogenics. From those 150 people, our team is almost 4,000 people. So you can see how the compound effect happens. It would have been really hard for me to help 4,000 people get started with isogenics, but I helped 150, and they told their spouse, their friend, their neighbor, their cousins, and now our team is almost 4,000. And so today, when I sleep, I make more money in my sleep than I would if I went to work as a school psychologist every day.
Love that. Okay. That is phenomenal. You guys are, this is recorded. We're going to hear that again. Two things that, I mentioned the telling about happy customers. And what I love how you've done, and I wondered how you're going to do this, quite honestly, is a lot of times see people try to break it out, the business volume on the value packs, but I love how you made it so simple. $150, 100 BV. Great. Everyone can think that, make it out, go to that number, because then you start to say, oh, okay. To me, the magic of what you've done, and we talked a little bit about this on the phone the other day, is the fact that you relate it to your life to where people then in turn, it's easily for them to start relating it to their life. Oh, you made enough money. You made as much money sleeping as you did working. Oh, but you also enrolled 150 people. And so often, get from people, it's like, oh, I've enrolled 10, I've enrolled 15. Is that enough? It's like, no, you're setting that expectation in the front. Again, the terminology not only builds credibility, you're sharing your experiences, what you're doing, and relate. And I love how that really does cast that vision. It's like, hey, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing it because I'm looking for that 700 grand a year. And so I hope everyone is grasping that. I hope everyone is catching that. Now, you mentioned earlier that you used to not show this to everyone. Why was that?
So I'll be honest. I have always talked about the big money, even with, there are people on this call. I'm sure Ann Medina is on this call, and she knows I was telling her I was going to be an isogenics millionaire like week 2. So I have always talked about the big money, but I didn't have it in such an organized presentation. And I felt like it was always just very like, oh, I didn't mention it in the first call. Oh, I gotta call them back and talk about that. Or I think a lot of times it's like you paint the vision, or they say, dream with them. But it sounds so dreamy that people are like, this girl's like crazy. Like she thinks she's gonna make $1 million selling shakes. So how this all came about was I just wanted it to be very systematic, very professional. You guys, I have done this. I just broke a record last week with Geraldine. I'm sure she's on the phone. So when we start, so the other thing is I do this with my new business builders. I do this with their initial people. So that
what Kathy mentioned earlier, as far as saying, hey, team with them, do this with them. If you're not up to speed, hey, here's the biggest thing. We talked about this too, is you got to be a disaster before you're a master. Well, there's nothing saying, hey, I got to learn along. So help people learn along, as opposed to throwing them the deep end. They get frustrated, they mess up. People are like, you're weird. You got 3 eyes. I don't get this. And then they're gone. And so walk them through that, kind of like Kathy said, at the very beginning of this.
Yeah. So I do this with my brand new business builders who, the ones that are like, I'm all in, I'm 100%. If somebody wants to be a happy customer, that's a different mentorship, right? Or they're just enrolling their spouse and their brother. But when somebody says, all right, like game on, all in, let's go. and this is actually new from Kathy, you guys. So Kathy with Cammie, I know Cammie is on the phone, on the call. She literally said, go find your 10 people and Sonia will train them. And I thought, oh boy, okay, here we go. But Kathy said it, so here we go, right? And so literally Cammie brought us his dream team of 10 and we just did Zoom calls with them. You know, he would make the introduction. And Christy DeLeon, big props to her because she has been incredible. Christy DeLeon is Cammie's enrolling sponsor. So this has totally been a team effort and it has been Cammie, Christy, and me doing these Zoom calls. But that's what we've been doing. So like, how can we expect for Cammie to do this? He's been doing this for 3 weeks, you know? And literally the guy started talking about the business 3 weeks ago. So we just said, bring them to us, introduce us, get them on a Zoom call. We will do the rest. And Christy and I have been taking turns and just supporting him. Of course, the idea is that we're modeling for him, we're modeling for his team, you know, and we're helping them. And I just had another call with Kathy this weekend and she was really, you know, talking about this. And she was saying, Sonia, this is how we all built 10, 15, 20 years ago. We used to say, bring me your 10 people and we will do the presentation with them. We will do the 3-way call. If you do that 3-4 levels down, I promise you will max out your business center. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, if Kathy says that, let's go, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's great. One of the things that you had mentioned is that a little bit is maybe you would prejudge and say, oh, they don't want the money. And I think that's something we discussed is the fact that there's a lot of people right now that, you know, I mentioned to you, hey, my nutrition business, I made, you know, a couple $100,000 a year. But if I wanted to go do something and I needed to make $500 like that, unless I got a brand new clients are going to be a lot of work. I couldn't go do that. But you're just telling me, hey, you're doing what you're doing. You're swapping out your everyday, you know, food for this income producing assets. Like, okay, now I'll go take a look at it, even though, you know, made a significant amount of money. And I think that's what's so magical in that not prejudging that you had mentioned, because you had a lot of people in that boat that you didn't, Absolutely. You know, realize that what's an extra $200 or $300 for them in any given season.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And then, for example, Cammie, 3 weeks, he's made $5,000.
Yeah. It's awesome.
3 weeks. It's amazing, right? And that's what we can do for people, you guys. Like, we have the compensation plan. Like, I feel like I'm like, tell me how much money you want to make. And like, I'll show you exactly how to do it. You know, our compensation plan is incredible. I just wanted to touch on, I know sometimes people can feel like maybe this is a lot of time, it's time consuming, whatnot. But here's what I'm going to tell you. 150 enrollments in 5.5 years is really not a lot. But what we have on our team is a lot of depth.
Yeah.
And the reason why we have depth is because I have always gotten on the phone with people. I have always shared the big money in the compensation plan. And of course, the depth is multiplying like crazy this year because now all of our leaders do this. I mean, I know for sure every executive on my team is doing this. They're getting on Zoom calls. They're doing this with their people and they're doing it with their new people, and it duplicates, you guys. Would you rather text someone and have a customer for 30 days? Or would you rather spend 20, 30 minutes and have a business builder with you for the next 5 years?
Great question, which ties into this from Ashley. Ashley said, how do you do this if they don't order right away? How do you transition? And maybe there's someone that they need to see the money, like you saw the money, and they're like, I'm not sure I'm going to order that. Because you mentioned earlier, you take the order, you help them fill out their account, make their account before you jump into this. Do you ever flop that? Maybe they're like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, if they're not ready, we still show them the compensation plan. Because if nothing else, sometimes the business is what brings them in. If they're still kind of like, I don't know. Or for example, we were just on a call with Cammie and Christy earlier with a new couple that joined Cammie. And because they're a couple, they were trying to figure out what was the best way so that they would make the most money back. So It made sense to go over the comp plan, strategically place the husband with the value pack, the most expensive, so that the wife would make the most money right away. We always want our customers to make the most money, right? Always.
Love that.
Always.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Always.
Whoa, what did you say? What did you say?
We always want our customers to make the most money.
So you give away PIBs.
100%.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
Love that.
I am always looking for the long-term money, not the short-term money. And I know that if I get my happy customers paid, it'll pay for itself.
Yes. Okay. Well, guys, I know we've kind of run a little bit long. Sonia, that was amazing. I can't wait for everyone to watch this again. Okay. And so I'm going to wrap up here, guys. I'm going to wrap up and kind of go through a couple things, what your homework is. All right. So we got 2 pieces of homework. But before we get into the homework, one, you guys have to realize that you're going to write out the comp plan. Did Sonia do a great job? Give her a little clap, give her a little props. Come on, shout it out in the chat. Thank you for answering that, Allison. Love that. If you guys saw Tia's question, Allison's answering there in the chat. But I want to share this. Okay. So I got this message at 4:40 our time, 4:39. And I was like, oh, I got to read that. And this is going to become your homework, because one of the things that I know has happened, I am guilty of this, and I'm going to guess some of you might be as well, is you see this money that Sonia talked about and you're like, oh yeah, I can go get those $400, but man, it's hard. It's like hard right now. And it's just whatever. I got this message and I'm going to read it. And it's from Lori Sherman. And this is what she wrote. I thought this would be a great time to share with you what Isagenix has done for me and what you have contributed into our life. We've paid for 2 kids' preschool. We paid off student loan debt. We paid off our Yukon. We traveled 2 to 3 times a year as a family of 4, given more money to organizations than I thought we could. We've tithed 10%, bought a surfing boat, sponsored 2 days of programming on a local Christian radio station annually. We redid our main floor living area, flooring, painting, furniture. Redid our office, invested money into our team, rank advancement, bonuses, gifts, trips. And most importantly, allowed me to be an at-home mama, working mom, yes, these last 7+ years. And the bonus here is an equally rewarding, how have helped hundreds of families create residual income of a team of over 3,000 strong. It's giving me chills reading that again, because that, guys, right there is what Sonia showed is real life. Okay. That's what is real life. So here's your homework. Lori says she sat down with her husband. It took him about 15 minutes to do that. I want you guys to do that same thing. I don't care if you've made $1. You've made $1 and that's paid for, whatever it may be. If you've made $50 and it's helped pay for your electric or heat bill. If you've made $500 and it's paid a car payment or helped towards anything in your life. Lori said that when she got started, she just wanted to have enough money so she could pay for her kids' preschool. Well, I think she did that. When Kelly started, she just wanted enough money that she could pay for our daughter in dance because we had a tight budget and there wasn't space for that. And so what I want you guys to do is spend time, and I want you to create a list, and your list does not count. It does not count unless you post it in the Level Up Mastermind. All right. So do that. Make your list. This isn't about, it's not about bragging. Oh, look what I've done. No, it's about the recognition of what this has accomplished in your lifetime with Isagenix. And again, that could be a day. That could be, 9.5 years like Kelly. Right. That's part 1. Did you guys get that? Part 1. Lindsay, are you taking notes? There's 2 parts to this. Part 1. The second part is write out the comp plan like Sonia did, because you need to practice it and get in front of people. The next time you talk to them, say, yes, we did this before. Let's be honest. I acknowledged last time that I did not do it. There's no reason any of us should not write out the comp plan as beautifully and magically as Sonia did, right? Okay. So you're going to write out what your income has done for your family. Number two part of that is you're going to write out the comp plan. You're going to share that, with others. You're going to share that with someone. If it's a new customer, as Kathy said, it's the last couple hours of I call it Isogenics days. If you've been on coffee chat, I mean, that's a better name than, it's Isogenics days. Okay. And I want you guys to get comfortable with that, because the reality is, like I've mentioned, when Kelly and I first got started, for us to make a couple $100 extra, we had to manufacture ways to do it. It wasn't like this. So as Kelly just said here, you must video, turn around, turn on that screen on Zoom, record it, get the whiteboard out like Sonia did. I got a whiteboard back there. It's hidden, but a whiteboard. Scratch it out on a whiteboard, practice doing exactly what she did. All right. So the what you've accomplished list, comp plan list. Is that fair? Can you guys do that? I just want to see a general. Jake, that means you have to do it. You can't pass it off on Allison and let her do it for you. Okay, good. You guys got that? Lori, thank you so much for sharing. I don't think you realized that you were going to be the inspiration to our homework, but you were. And I think it's so magical and wonderful. And it gives us an opportunity to be grateful. Quite honestly, it's that. Oh, shoot. There's something they win. Thank you, Kelly. Let me check my, what you said. This is what you win. If you post you got to do two parts. There's no backing out of this one. It's a big one. Okay. I got in trouble because I gave too much last week and I wasn't truthful with Kelly. Now she wants to give big. I think it's her way to say, hey, you do that. I'll do this. Okay. Write out your gratitude list. You got to post it. Got to post your video of the comp plan. iPad Pro with a pen. Why? Because it's a great way to write out the comp plan for people. Okay. You got to do both. There's no screwing around here. And I don't want to put, okay, can you guys do that? Is that worth it? Is that something you could use to help? All right. Barbie said, upload your video to YouTube and Vimeo. Yes, so you can save it, share the link. Oh, look at that. Great ideas. Okay. I'm going to go through it one last time. What Isogenics money has accomplished in your life. Okay. And be thoughtful. I mean, that was really thoughtful. I mean, that was a lot of things. And I bet there's Lori now. She's thinking, he probably left out a few things. I'm just guessing. Okay. 2, write out the comp plan. Watch Sonia again. I will make sure we put in the notes when she starts and when she finishes, so you can watch this. You don't have to search it. Okay. Is that fair? And post those in the Level Up Mastermind. I encourage you guys to follow this. It's been amazing. And again, as Sonia shared, is there a deadline to post? Yeah, there's a deadline.
I love you, Tyler.
Huh?
I said, I love you. I'm just trying to help you out here in launching your contest. I just want to be clear. If there's one winner, we're going to do the drawing for everyone. So I think everybody was thinking everybody was getting the iPad Pro and pen.
No, one winner.
Okay.
I'm sorry. One winner. One winner.
Deadline is Sunday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will let you keep on going.
Hi.
Hey, Tyler.
Yes, Sonia.
Can I add a bonus point thing that I think people should do?
Yeah, bring it on.
Just for fun. I'll give a prize. Okay, you guys, right now, there are people in your network that need to see this comp plan.
Oh, yes.
And it brings me to tears to think about the people that need this. So my homework to you is that you reach out to those 3 people that are in your mind every day, that you see their Facebook, or you just know, that they're restaurant owners, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know the people that are struggling right now more than ever. Those people that are in your heart, those people that God keeps putting in your mind. And I just want you to send them a message and say, I keep thinking about you. and I just want to jump on a Zoom call. There's something that I really want to share with you. And just make sure it's authentic, you know, make sure it's from your heart, make sure that it's really those people that are in your heart and in your mind. We all have them. We all have 2 to 3. It's something that I've been doing. And I just had a great call with a friend yesterday that God just kept placing in my mind and in my heart. You guys, people need to see this. A lot of people just assume, you know, that maybe it's a little money here and there. People need to see the life-changing opportunity that we have.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you for interjecting with that. So again, all right, I'm going to go through it one last time. Okay. Write out what Isagenix money has accomplished for you, your family. 2, you're going to draw out, present the comp plan like Sonia did. Post that video. You're going to post your list, post your video. You're going to reach out to 3 people and you're going to share this comp plan with them. Okay. Did you guys get that? Whoever does that gets put into the pool for a drawing for 1 iPad Pro with a pencil. Okay. Is that good? You guys good with that? Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys for showing. Allison, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. Yes. Yes. Anyways, guys, good night. I'm sorry if you didn't see it. Jake put on a pink headband, and that's a little Team Black thing. I apologize for that, Jake. Oh, cracking me up. There he is. But anyways, you guys, thanks for joining. Have a great night.